Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello, hello. How is everyone today? I tell you one thing, I'm doing way better than I did yesterday. Holy shit. So, just as a quick recap, for those of you who have not been around for the past 3 days, I live in Washington State, and the Pacific Northwest of the United States has had an insane heat wave. Ridiculously high temperatures, record high temperatures every day. It's the hottest it has ever been here in recorded history. Over the last 3 days, yesterday it hit 111 degrees Fahrenheit. Now the thing is, there's a lot of places that regularly have hot temperatures like this, but here in the Pacific Northwest, again, we've never had that before. Most of our homes are built to retain heat. So imagine you're living in a house meant to keep the heat in, and you have that heat stuck in your house. And that's exactly what happened to me the last few days. I've been streaming here for you guys. I was toughing through it, and I streamed, but even sitting here in the office with the door, you know, open or closed depending on the day, but with the air conditioner on maximum effing blast, well, yesterday it was 86 degrees in here. 86 degrees in my office streaming. It's the hottest it's ever been when I streamed as well. I've never been 86 degree weather. My God. But the good news is, last night the heat broke, and what we did something very smart. Okay, we waited for the heat to break. We waited for it to be cooler outside than it was inside. It finally did that about midnight last night. Then we opened up all the doors, all the windows, and we actually put fans on them and blew all the hot air out of the house. We sucked the hot air out of the house. It took about an hour and a half to clear the house of all this insanely hot, stuffy air. Then we left it open for a little bit to try to let some of the cool night air in, and then we plugged it back up, and we ran the air conditioners all night long overnight. So last night, I went to sleep in my bedroom, so hot, overheated, sweating profusely. I couldn't go under the sheets. It was so hot. Okay? I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, it was cool. It was refreshing. It was back to normal, basically, because the air conditioners had fixed the house overnight. Pretty good. And so 3 days of toughing it out in insanely bad weather, insanely hot, unseasonably warm weather. I survived it. We survived it, I should say. My whole family, we survived it here. I feel bad for anyone who didn't have air conditioners, because I have two, and it got that hot. Can you imagine what it was like for someone who didn't have an air conditioner? Seriously, I don't even know how they survived it. It was been passing out. But the good news is here, since temperatures are back to normal, it's only 73 degrees in my office. I've got the air conditioner pumping again. We are going to have hot days continuing. Like every day, I think the coolest it's going to get is a high of 83, and that's over the course of the next week. Today is supposed to be in the 90s again, but that's okay. I'm okay with the 90s, because at least if it's in the 90s, I can still keep the house cool. You know what I'm saying? When it's 110 degrees, there's no way you can keep the house cool. The house is not designed for that temperature, so the whole thing bakes like an oven. So, it's over. And the good news about this is, number one, I won't be overheated. I'll actually be able to think straight today. Yesterday, I could barely think straight. I'm trying to play Mass Effect, and I'm tongue-tied. I'm, like, stumbling. People are like, you okay? I'm like, no. No, I'm not. I can't even talk, you know. I can't even make a sentence formulate in my head and go to my lips because it was so freaking hot, I couldn't concentrate, you know. But in addition, yes, today I'd be able to wear a vest. Thank goodness. If we do hit the tips goal today, which I really hope we do, I'll be wearing vests for you. It's been 3 days, so I haven't been wearing vests because of it. So, well, actually, I take that back. It's been 2 days that I haven't worn vests because of it. But today we go back, and it could be all the vests today. Any vest is eligible today. All the puffy ones that you guys love. All right. You're absolutely right. I was very cranky yesterday. I was very cranky. I was just, like, snapping at people. I was like a snapping turtle. Like, you come by and say, oh, what a cute turtle. And the turtle, like, bites your finger right off. That's how I was yesterday. And I warned everyone. I said, listen, I'm sorry in advance. So I hope no one got offended at me being very cranky and nasty because it was so goddamn hot and I was not myself, okay? Today we're back to the chill. Seriously, today we are back to the chill of the streams. A nice chill stream of Fallout New Vegas. Excuse me. And today we're going to wrap up Old World Blues. Let's talk the schedule now, shall we? Let's do a nice smooth transition into the schedule so you guys know what to expect. All right. So, today, what the hell am I'm already messing up. Today, it's Fallout New Vegas on this first stream. Major stream, 3+ hours of gameplay. And what are we going to be doing? We're going to be wrapping up the Old World Blues DLC, which I've been playing now for, I think it's like 3 straight streams. It's funny because the first time I ever played the Old World Blues DLC, okay, I didn't concentrate on it. It was the middle of the night. I remember. It was, over 10 years ago. I was drunk. I was drinking rum and coke. And I was playing it while drinking. And all the DLCs up to that point had been shorter DLCs. Like, you could beat them within like 3 to 5 hours. So it would always been a tradition of mine to have a drink, play the Fallout DLC at release. Usually would come out like midnight, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time back in the day when these used to be digital releases on Xbox Live for the 360. And I would play through them, record them immediately, and upload them to the internet. I'd be one of the first people ever on YouTube to have playthroughs of these DLCs. So it was cool, because what would happen is people would wake up the next day and say, gee, I wonder if I should get that new DLC or not. Let me check out Darkside Phil's playthrough. And they would go right to my channel that next morning when it came out, watch my playthrough, and decide based on that if they want to get it or not. Okay? So that's a bygone era, of course. But I remember this particular DLC, Old World Blues, is way longer than all the others. The others, like I said, are only like 3 to 5 hours long. This one is like, if you do all the content, it's like over 12 hours. Seriously, like I'm 9 hours in, and I'm walking around and I'm discovering all these new locations. And people are like, yeah, these are all things that you were going to skip if you didn't walk around and look for a little bit. This is where you get all the tapes so that you can enable all the different AIs in the, or I guess they're VIs, in the sync, the hub area. So I think I found like 2 or 3 of them last time. And so we're going to go back and we're going to activate those things and see what they do. But I was having fun. I'm having a good time doing it, and I'm realizing, wow, I'm 9 hours in and we're still not done. Because that first time that I played it, I was rushing through it drunk, and I actually got pissed. I actually remember I got pissed off because I was trying to beat it really quickly. I was trying to rush through it to record it and get it on YouTube, and I was playing it like 8 hours. It wasn't over. I was like, oh my God, I'm tired. I'm drunk. I'm sleepy. I want to go to sleep. I just want this to end. So I was like rushing through it trying to get it done. And I remember I was all agitated in the playthrough. I was really pissed off that it was so long. So anyway, I'm curious, what is left in it. I'm sure there's a few locations I haven't found yet, but I'm not necessarily going to do them all, especially because, as you guys have seen, this DLC is quite challenging. The enemies are tough, and my build hasn't necessarily helped me that much with it. The explosives have been nearly useless this entire Old World Blues DLC. So we'll see what happens. Today I should definitely wrap it up. I think there's a few locations left to find if I feel like doing them, and then you storm Dr. Mobius's base, and I think there's a critical decision you make at the end when you run into him, and that's it. So we're nearing the end. We're getting towards the end of the DLC, and we should definitely beat it today, as long as nothing holds me up and screws stuff up. Okay? Okay, so I'm excited for this today, all right? And then after that, what am I doing after the Old World Blues DLC? I am definitely not doing another DLC right away. Likely what we'll do, we'll hit up the Strip. The thing that advances the plot, and I haven't done it, in like 15 hours, and I could have done. I think we'll do that. We'll go to the Strip, see what's going on the Strip. We'll initiate all the quest lines and everything, go from there. Okay? Good stuff. Alright, that's today's main gameplay stream. I'm excited because, as you know, the Fallout New Vegas streams are very chill, very fun, and we have a good time interacting during them. And this is perfect for me to come back from 3 insane days of heat and to be able to have a nice chill stream to end my streaming week, because today indeed is my final consecutive streaming day. I've been here 9 straight days without a break. So after today, finally tomorrow I get a break. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Later tonight, the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time is the conclusion of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We are about to enter the final segment of the game. From what I understand, it takes about an hour to do. Okay? So, tonight we'll do that. And if there's extra time or whatever, then we'll probably decide what we want to do next. Do you guys want to maybe just chill and talk a little bit? Do you want to maybe see me play a little bit of Call of Duty with that LMG that I've been unlocking attachments with? Whatever you guys want. We'll see what happens tonight on the late stream. We'll have a nice chill ending to the week as well. Tomorrow is my day off, finally. And coincidentally, we didn't even know this, but I read a news article about it. Tomorrow here in Washington State, 2 things happen. Number 1, the mask mandate is over. Meaning, no one is required to wear a mask anymore in Washington State. It's done. You don't have to wear it. Now, you can wear one if you want, and individual businesses here actually have the ability to still demand that you wear one if you come inside. They don't have the right. This is funny. They don't have the right to ask you if you're vaccinated and ask for proof, but they do have the right to still demand that you wear a mask. So even though the mask mandate is ending tomorrow here in Washington State, it doesn't mean that necessarily you don't need a mask. So basically what my wife and I are going to do, we're going to bring a mask with us, just keep it in our pockets. And if someone demands that we wear the mask, we'll wear it. And if not, we won't. And we're okay either way. We've been okay wearing the mask the whole time. So there you go. Now also here in Washington State tomorrow, all businesses are reopening at 100% capacity. So everything is back to normal. Now, who knows how long this will last, because if you haven't read the news, there's a new Delta variant going around the world now that's more infectious, and everyone's freaking out about it, of course. So, very well, we may last 1 week with this. Seriously, we may last 1 week with this. And then our governor may be like, oh, the Delta variant, go back to normal, everything back to 50% capacity. Take your mask, put it back on. I seriously would not be surprised at all. I would not be surprised at all if that happens, because of the way that our governor works. So that's it. Tomorrow will be a very interesting day for us, because we have a lot of stuff we need to do tomorrow, because now it's been 9 days since we've had a day off. So we got a ton of shit to do, and we're curious, you know, how's everything going to be? Is it going to be incredibly packed now everywhere because it's 100% capacity? You know, is it going to be back to normal, or will people still be more apprehensive and stay away 6 feet distance? Will people actually still be wearing masks? Will the people not be wearing masks? Will a business still require a mask? You know, like, how's it going to go down? I don't know. We're going to see tomorrow, okay? See, here's funny. Ryan Wilson says no vaccinated segregation. Well, here's what's supposed to happen, and here's what's really going to happen. What's supposed to happen tomorrow is, if you are not vaccinated, you're still supposed to wear a mask no matter what. Okay? But, as I said, the mask mandate ends tomorrow, meaning there's no more government oversight saying wear a mask anymore. Therefore, since a business already said we are not going to ask you for evidence if you're vaccinated, all that could happen is you go to walk in a business and they're like, are you vaccinated? Yes. Okay, have a nice day. That's it. That's all that can happen. If you walk in, they say, are you vaccinated? No, and I don't care. What are they going to do? Call the police? You know what I mean? Now, of course, I hope everyone out there does the right thing. Doesn't mean they're going to. I guarantee you what's going to end up happening. People are just going to all say they're vaccinated, and that's it. So, essentially, the mask mandate's over. Even though, yes, people who are not vaccinated are still supposed to wear the mask, it ain't going to happen. Are you crazy? No one's going to do that. You know, and that's stupid, because obviously they should, but they're not going to. You know? So, it is what it is. Like I said, for us, we're going to do the safe thing. We're going to have a mask with us. When we go out, if it's required, we will wear it. If not, great, we don't have to anymore. So we'll see what happens, but we're going to have one with us just in case. We don't want to start fights and shit, you know. I don't care. If they make me wear a mask, I'll wear the fucking mask. I just want to go about my day and have a good time and not be hassled about shit. You know what I'm saying? See, Clown World says they don't even ask. It's more of a don't ask, don't tell thing. I mean, honestly, I expect that's what it's going to be. I expect tomorrow we're going to go out. No one's going to say a word about a mask at all. Some people will still have them on. Some people won't. No one will care, and everyone just goes about their business. It's just going to be back to like before this thing ever happened. That's what I'm expecting tomorrow. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm kind of getting from around here. So, so there you go, folks. All right, so that's tomorrow. That's my day off. I finally get a day off after 9 days of streaming. And the good news is the weather will be much cooler. I think the high is only 83 degrees tomorrow, so it might be a little on the warmer side, but thank fucking God it will not be crazy. Okay? And then I'm back on Thursday. Now, next week, I'm streaming 8 straight days again. Yes, I know this is weird because I'm usually not here streaming this much. But I am streaming a ton next week, 8 straight days, okay? So let's talk about that because it's going to be an interesting mix. Essentially, when I come back on Thursday, we're going to continue with Mario Golf Super Rush. And then Thursday night, excuse me, is going to be MLB The Show. Friday, it's going to be the continuation of Mass Effect 3, and that'll be paired with my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session. Saturday will be more Fallout New Vegas. That'll be paired with Danganronpa V3. All right, and then Sunday, you know, we basically go back to Mario Golf, and we just keep kind of going in that circle, okay? Now, over the next week, I'm planning on doing at least 2 streams of Danganronpa V3. Likely I'll do 2 streams of Call of Duty, unless for some reason I do one and there's just demand that I do something else instead. I'm liking Call of Duty. I just unlocked an LMG that's really fun to use, different from the guns I've been using. But if people are like, nah, it's the same, do something else, I wouldn't be opposed to squeezing in another stream of, say, Fallout New Vegas or something on a night stream, okay? So 8 straight days. 8 straight freaking days, all right? Now, one thing that I absolutely would like your guys' feedback on, all right? I would like to know, in the month of July, because now we're about to start July, it's coming in just a couple days, okay? What would you guys like to see in regards to gameplay and playthroughs? And what I mean by that is, in July, there's only one major new release. It's Skyward Sword Remake for the Switch, which I'm excited for because I loved the game and hated the motion controls, so playing it without them, the game will probably be way better, okay? But outside of that, there is nothing really going on in the realm of new releases. Maybe there will be a secret one, you know, here or there. But outside of that, there's not much going on, all right? I'm not interested in Scarlet Nexus, all right? And there's really just nothing else. So the truth is, I have openings. I have a big opening, all right, to do whatever I want. What do I want to do? I don't know. Some great suggestions have been made. Some people are like, play the original Final Fantasy VII, which you wanted to do 2 years ago and didn't do. Not only is it a classic Final Fantasy you've never played, but it'll give us perspective on what the real plot of the game actually is compared to the remake that just came out last year, and then, of course, the expansion that just came out that I skipped. Some people say, why don't you play Chrono Trigger again? It's a game that you've wanted to play for many, many years again. Last time you played it was 8 years ago, and you only did a 1 standard run. You didn't do, like, any of the alternate endings. Also, back then, I was not doing any kind of, I wasn't doing interactive live streams. That was when I had just started doing direct capture and live streaming. So I didn't have any kind of interaction with you guys during the playthrough. I feel like interaction would make a Chrono Trigger playthrough way better. Some people say, why don't you do Lost Odyssey, a game that you've wanted to play for many, many years, and you did not because you didn't have time, right? These are all great suggestions. I got you. Metroid Prime 2 is another suggestion that I've gotten a bunch of people asking me for. Okay? So that's just off the top of my head, some of the suggestions that have come in. So here's what we're going to do. For the next week, 8 straight days, I'm going to continue to play the games that I'm playing, and we're going to see how far we get. Now, chances are there's no chance I'm getting near the end of Fallout New Vegas or Mass Effect 3 playing them for another 3 to 9 hours in the next week. It's just not going to happen. Okay? But Mario Golf, I don't know how long that it actually is, okay? And what I'm thinking is Mario Golf, likely, I'm going to play through the story of it, and once the story is complete, it's going to be multiplayer, and I'm probably going to do that maybe as night streams. I don't think I'm going to do major streams of Mario Golf multiplayer, you know what I'm saying? So, depending on how long the game is, maybe it'll take me another 3-4 sessions to beat it. So maybe within the next week, I'm getting through the campaign. Once the campaign's done, oh, now I can actually start up something new, you see? We'll see. We'll play it by ear and see what happens, because it really depends on how stuff goes. Excuse me. We'll see. Now, some people are making another suggestion. Chivalry 2. Isn't Chivalry 2 that first-person, a first-person game with knights and stuff? Someone had explained to me that it was like, it's like Left 4 Dead, but with knights, which is a pretty crazy premise, right? So anyway, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of great possibilities on the horizon for the month of July. Let's enjoy this first week of July together, going through all the playthroughs I'm currently doing, having a good chill time, and we'll talk about it over the course of that week. We'll, you know, weigh some options. Maybe we'll have a poll at some point, and we'll figure it out together. Sound good? I've been open to any of this stuff. Sounds good to me. Seriously, any of this stuff sounds pretty good to me. The only concern I have is getting wrapped up in a playthrough that's long and so long that I don't get to finish it before the new releases start hitting in August. Because in August, there's basically one new release a week. I don't know if I'm going to be doing all of them, but I'm definitely going to be doing at least a couple of them. And then September is insane. September is like the craziest gaming month in like 17 years. There's like ridiculous amounts of games coming out in September, back to back to back. So, I don't, like, for example, I'm going to be honest with everyone. Lost Odyssey. I want to play it so fucking badly. It's a great game. I did a playthrough of it before I was ever a YouTuber. I loved every minute I played the goddamn game. And I always wanted to play it for YouTube. But I know it's a very long game. It's turn-based, grindy style JRPG classic gameplay. Not to say that I can't make that work. But, you see what I'm saying? Like, to be able to try to finish that in a short period of time is probably not viable, you know? Compare that with, say, Chrono Trigger, which is a relatively short RPG, and I would be able to probably do not only one run, but alternate endings all within, like, 20 to 30 hours, right? Or, again, compare that to, say, Final Fantasy VII, where if I'm just doing a standard run and I'm not going for all the secret side content and shit, I could probably beat that in about 40 hours. You know, we're talking, if I'm playing the game 1 to 2 times a week, right? I could beat it within a month and a half. But if I'm taking on a game like Lost Odyssey that's ridiculously long, it may be a lost cause. It may be a game that ends up never getting finished, you see? Eternal Napalm says, just so I know, Metroid Prime 2 is about 20 to 25 hours. Thank you for telling me. If it's anything like Metroid Prime 1, I remember what happens is you go to these areas the first time, and you're fighting certain enemies or whatever, and then you have to come back later once you get new abilities, just like every Metroid. You go back with new abilities, you unlock new areas, right, to find more secrets and things that you need to advance, so... Alright, I gotta think about it, and obviously I'm going to take in all of your feedback over the next, you know, week or so, and I'll make a determination, alright? I'm interested in any of these things. Like, seriously, I'm thinking in my head, wow, Chrono Trigger would be super fun. Final Fantasy VII, to finally play it with you guys would be so fun. I've never played Metroid Prime 2, and people have asked me for years to play it. That would probably be really fun. So I'm thinking in my head all these options, like, damn, these are all good. It sucks I don't have more time. Okay. Alright, guys. So anyway, that's the deal. Coming up. I hope that sounds good to everyone. I'm excited for the start of July. By the way, since today is the last day of June that I'll be streaming, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, I'd like to say something to all of you, alright? I want to say thank you all, because this month, June, was the first month ever, the first month where I fully streamed on YouTube in, holy shit, 5 years? Yeah, this is the first time that I've streamed on YouTube full-time in 5 years, a whole month that we did it, okay? Today I looked at the stats, alright? They're pretty good. Taking a look at, essentially, the viewership, the engagement. I got 800 new subscribers this month to the channel. That's a lot. That's a lot of new subs to DSP Gaming in 1 month, for considering the fact that I was getting, like, no new subs at all. Plus, you know, memberships, super chats, everything's been good. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who did support this channel over the last month. Now, the thing is, that's just the start of something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just getting started here. Once new releases start hitting, once the fall comes and all the big releases are here, I guarantee you people are going to be coming to watch. They're going to be becoming members. Right now, we're in the midst of a lot of dead time where there's not a lot going on in the realm of gaming. So the fact that I'm doing pretty good now when it's slow is actually a really good sign for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully we don't stall, you know? People have obviously made some factual observations. They say, well, Phil, here on YouTube you have way less viewers. Well, that's to some extent true. It's not way less viewers. It's definitely less viewers. I mean, on average on Twitch, I was getting, what, 400 viewers a stream, if that. Here I get between 200 and 300 usually. Sometimes I break 300 to 400. But the thing is, we've weeded out all the trolls. The people who were sitting here and were not being positive contributors to the streams. They weren't interacting in any positive way. They weren't adding to the conversation. They were not contributing. They were not doing anything. They were just sitting here taking up space being dicks. They're all gone. They're all freaking gone, man. So that's a great thing. We can now have interactive fun streams without the troll element. Because I have sub-only mode here on Twitch. I mean, excuse me, on YouTube. Oh my god. What a Freudian slip. Because I have sub-only mode here on YouTube, they're all gone. Alright? Now, every once in a while, we get a person in here who wants to troll. And I understand. It's never going to fully go away. We all know that. We're never going to get to a point where it's, oh, it's troll-proof. It ain't going to happen. But if you take a look at these streams today, Fallout New Vegas, I guarantee you we're going to have fun conversation. We're going to have a good time chilling with each other. Right? We're going to enjoy the gameplay. People will support the stream. It's going to all work out. And that's the thing. What was the difference between me having 300 to 400 viewers on Twitch or maybe 200 to 300 viewers here on YouTube if we're having a great time? It doesn't matter. The 100 people who were here just to be shitheads are gone, so, you know, it's fine, you know? So my mentality is, hey, change happens. I knew moving from Twitch to YouTube we were going to see changes. But taking a look at the amount of support you guys are giving me and everything, I had no complaints. The way I see it is this is just the beginning. The sky's the limit. Actually building my YouTube channel again for the first time in over 5 years is a pretty cool thing to do. It's going to be awesome to see people subbing and subs actually going up. We may actually, by the end of 2021, perhaps I may actually hit 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Holy shit. You know, the first time in years that I actually get subs, because usually my subs go up, down, and stay the same because I don't do anything on this channel. And now I'm doing stuff on this channel all the time. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, all right? We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited for the future. And I want to say thank you because, again, it was very uncertain. It was very uncertain what the heck was going to happen here with the streaming. You know, I had no clue. I was nervous, admittedly, of how things were going to go. And to me, it looks like the future is looking good. You know what I'm saying? So, fair enough. Sound good? I hope so. All right. Well, all right. All right, now hold on, because my phone just vibrated. It's annoying. What is this? Hold on. What is this? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Good. Yeah, it's stupid. It's fucking... Oh, my God. It's a fucking solicitor. Oh, my... I hate this shit. I seriously hate this shit. I hate when I get a fucking solicitor. All right, I don't even want to... I'm not going to... Okay, I'm going to calm down. I'm not going to rant about this on stream. I'm going to keep my cool. How fucking stupid. All right, anyway. So, guys, thank you for a great June. Like I said, I looked at my performance, everything. The views, the subs, the contributions you guys gave me over the month of June. Pretty damn good. I'm pleased with how things went. In particular, I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about Super Chats and memberships. I didn't know what they were going to amount to. They're coming out pretty good. Now, listen, not as good as it was on Twitch. Like I told you guys, I lost so many subscribers. When I was on Twitch, I had 900 subs. Now I have 160-some members, okay? I'm grateful for every damn one. Because what a difference. I mean, I'm just being honest here. Think about that. It was $2.50 per sub. So I'm now missing 750 subs. That's literally like $1,500 to $2,000 a month I'm not making. That's no exaggeration. That's 100% lost income that I had, and it's gone now. Why? Because Twitch screwed me for no fucking reason. I did absolutely nothing wrong. They never justified what they did to me. You know? It's messed up how I was mistreated over there. So it is what it is. But we got a great start. I'm very pleased with how June went, and I'm looking forward to more. All right? And now, like I said, now because the contributions are a mix, you know, every day. You could either become a channel member, super chat, super sticker, or a tip. Since it's a mix of everything, you know, it's going to even out. If someone wants to tip, great, because they want to see the gunner glasses or the vest reward, or maybe you want to see a cool pop-up on the screen, or maybe you want to see a pop-up in chat with a super sticker or super chat or whatever. It's all good, man. It's all good. Okay, so, speaking of which, very briefly, if you like my content, you like the channel, and you want to support it, by all means, please do. It's all appreciated because that's the only income I get, guys. I don't have any partnership with anyone where I get paid to exclusively stream somewhere. I have no sponsorships or anything like that. It's all about crowdfunding. It's about you guys liking the content, coming and chilling with me, and then supporting that stream. All right? So, like I just mentioned, you could use a super chat or a super sticker right here in the chat live. You could become a channel member, which you get many benefits if you do. You get a cool highlighted name in the chat. You get a crown next to your name to show how long you've been a supporter. You get access to a ton of different emotes, okay? In addition to that, you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules that we have here. It's about 10-second slow mode I have in effect to stop spamming, but you don't have to even abide by that if you're a member. Many benefits to being a member. And by the way, being a member here on YouTube is cheaper than it was being a subscriber over on Twitch, and I get more of a cut. pretty damn good arrangement if you ask me. Or you could tip me. And tipping me helps a ton because tipping me helps me in the short term. Today, tipping me would be great because tomorrow's my day off. So anything you guys tip me today would help me directly tomorrow, okay? How do you tip? Well, if you look in the description of the stream, there's a link. Or you could type !tip into the stream chat. Either way works. And in addition to that, we have goals. If we raise $50 in tips, the reward is that I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips today, I will put on a vest of your choice. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, all of the vests are eligible, including the platinum, the red, the beige, the blue. I'm going to put all those into the running. All the puffy vests will be in the running. Since I couldn't wear those for the past couple of days, we'll put them in the running today. Okay? Pretty good, right? Okay. So, good stuff, my friends. Thank you for your support in advance. Now, what do we want to talk about today? By the way, I have shout-outs. We have 2 super chats and a tip so far to shout out, and I will do that in a moment. Gaming news. There is one major story to talk about this morning in gaming news. It is regarding Sony. Sony has come out publicly, and they have said, fuck everyone. This morning, the CEO of Sony flipped off everyone live on a live stream. He said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. We are the winners. You are the losers. Okay, that didn't happen. What happened was, Sony announced this morning that they have purchased Housemarque Studios. Does anyone know who Housemarque Studios is? Anyone? Because I didn't know who the hell they were until they made Returnal. I had never heard of these guys before. You know, didn't know anything about their track record or their work. I don't think I'd ever played one of their games before. But then we played Returnal. Now, you guys know my thoughts on Returnal. Certainly, Returnal, I don't feel Returnal is a bad game at all. I feel that Returnal actually is quite a good game. The problem with Returnal, my problem with Returnal, all right, is that it's a Sony exclusive, a PlayStation 5 exclusive, sold for $70, and I just don't feel that there's $70 worth of content in that game. All right? The shooting in Returnal is great. The graphics are outstanding. The plot is meh. It starts out more interesting than it really ends up being by the end, because the end is very, very vague and open to interpretation, how you feel what actually happens in the plot. Much like they do with thriller movies or horror movies these days. They did exactly the same thing in Returnal, had an ambiguous ending where it's open to interpretation. Okay? The game itself, because it's a roguelike, they opted for this roguelike formula, doesn't have a lot of content. There's only 6 worlds, and the worlds are reused assets in a lot of cases. And you have to grind a lot and redoing stages over and over because there's no save system. So it took me, how long did it take me? About 20, 30 hours to beat it? I want to say it took me about 30 hours to beat it. But out of the 30 hours I played it, like literally 15 hours could have been removed if the game had a save system and wasn't a roguelike. You see? So you're going to tell me a game that only has 15 hours of content is a $70 release? Of course not. It's just not. Objectively, you would have a very hard time objectively trying to justify that price tag. Subjectively, right? Subjectively, this could be something anyway, subjectively, you could say the game's amazing. Subjectively, you can say, oh, this is a great game because I like the gunplay, I like the graphics, I love the gameplay loop or whatever. But how on earth you could objectively say that 15 hours of gameplay is a $70 title? Especially because of the gameplay is very repetitive? I don't know. So I guess, you know, to me, the game was a mixed bag. It was some good, some bad. I do feel like I paid way more for the game than it was worth, and I played it too long because it was too much repetition, okay? If it had a save system, the game would have been a lot better. And by the way, if the stages weren't randomly generated, or what, yeah, that's what it's called. If they weren't randomly generated, if instead they were actually like curated stages that were hand designed, I think it would have been a better game. That's my opinion though, okay? So anyway, that's Housemarque. And this is basically the only major game that they've done that has gotten mainstream attention. But Sony apparently said the game sold enough and was well received enough that we're buying this studio. Now, for me, I'm going to be honest. I think this is kind of a ridiculous thing because that game, the reason that Returnal was so widely praised and was so widely hyped is because it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive. If that game were cross-platform, or if that game were an Xbox exclusive, you really think it would have got that kind of attention? The thing is, so many people bought PlayStation 5s, and there's no exclusives. So they ran out to buy one, and they all, you know, through this groupthink mentality, talked themselves up about this damn game that in reality wasn't that groundbreaking. In fact, I don't even know what was groundbreaking besides maybe some of the graphics, you know? It just kind of makes me shake my head. Because now basically Sony's acting like, wow, this studio did such an outstanding, amazing job making this game that we're buying them. It's like, but really it wasn't that great. But I don't know. What do I know? That's up to them. That's up to them to make that kind of a judgment. But to me, it's kind of like, for example, if this game, Returnal, were released on Xbox Series X exclusive, like the Medium, I think it would have been received just like the Medium. Like, no exaggeration. It would have been like, oh, it's an okay game. Some people like it, some people don't. But because it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, oh my God, Game of the Year contender. You see? That's what I think anyway. Richard Pierce says there's something wrong with Super Chats. There shouldn't be. I already got 2 this morning, Richard Pierce. Yeah, I got 2 Super Chats this morning already. Is anyone else having an issue with it? I don't know what to tell you. They just came in, what 15 minutes ago? 20 minutes ago? I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about how this works with YouTube. Sounds like a YouTube issue if you're having an issue. Okay. So anyway, what's hilarious about this whole situation, all right, is the following. Okay? Richard Pierce is giving him an error. Oh, I don't know. Hold on. Well, I'm just going to briefly check on something. Since he's saying there's an error, let me just briefly check. Supers. Your super chat activity, they are enabled. So on my side, everything's fine. Maybe there's something wrong on your side, but on my side, I just checked and everything's good. Always willing to check for you guys, and it looks fine on my end. So yeah, if it's a YouTube side error, if you can't super chat and you want to contribute, consider tipping. Okay? Okay. All right, anyway. The other news is hilarious because it was a mistake. It actually wasn't intentionally happening. So Sony Japan wanted to post up about Sony buying Housemarque, okay? And they posted up a pic in celebration. But the pic that they posted up said, congratulations, we bought Bluepoint. Huh? So actually, Sony has bought both Housemarque and Bluepoint games. If you're not aware, Bluepoint is the studio that just remade Demon's Souls as a PS5 exclusive. So they screwed up. They basically leaked the announcement. They weren't supposed to, and they leaked it by accident. But I don't know why they wouldn't have announced both at the same time anyway. I don't know why. Maybe the deal wasn't 100% done or something. But yeah, it's pretty much, it's given now. They bought Housemarque, and either they're in the process of or have fully bought Bluepoint as well. Demon's Souls remake looked very good. I was a little disappointed they didn't try to refine or fix any of the multiplayer, because the multiplayer was still terrible. But maybe they just wanted to 100% keep it accurate to the original. I'm not sure. Maybe it was ultimate fan service. But, you know, that's, to me, if Bluepoint does a good job remaking franchises for Sony, like, that's a good thing, you know? If they have a studio that's focused on remaking franchises, and can do remakes of older Sony games that we all want to see again on modern consoles, I'm all for that. Especially if they can make those graphics excellent like they did with Demon's Souls. I'm very pleased. So that's good news, and hopefully, you know, I'm pretty sure it's true. You know, I don't think it's an exaggeration or a lie. I think they did buy Bluepoint, and that's something positive for the future, I feel. You know? Okay, so guys, let's do shout-outs, because like I said, I've been getting contributions from 2 different methods here. Let's take a look. First, let's do Super Chats. Let me refresh this screen here. Alright, so we start off today with Roosh, who did a $5 Super Chat. Thank you so much, Roosh, for the $5 Super Chat. Parasolo did a Super Chat and says, big ups to the UK for taking that W. So I guess the UK won in, what is it that's going on right now? Isn't there some kind of a football or soccer event over in Europe? And I guess they won? Great. Fireball Axe says, I need Bloodborne 60 frames. Yeah, imagine if they remade Bloodborne with better graphics, 60 frames per second. I think everyone would buy the shit out of that. So maybe that's something Bluepoint could do, you know? Team Ico Gamer just did a, is that £2? I think it's £2, and he says, testing. So he did a £2 super chat, and he tested it, and it's working. So yeah, Richard, I don't know what's going on with your super chat's giving you an error. It sounds like something on your, either through your specific account, or YouTube having an error on your end, but Team Ico Gamer was able to do a super chat. So, all right, now we move on to tips. Our first tip of the day is from Xbox One. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? Team Ico Gamer I have to put on the leaderboard. Oops. Let's do that. Thank you, Team Ico Gamer. Xbox One is garbage is our first tipper of the day and says, do you think that the next Skyrim will be Xbox and PC exclusive? That's a tough question. First of all, there is no next Skyrim. What you're saying is the next Elder Scrolls, right? The thing is, obviously Microsoft owns Bethesda, and it would likely sell consoles and likely get them a lot of Game Pass subscriptions if they did make it an Xbox console exclusive, the next Elder Scrolls. But you can see for business reasons why they probably won't or wouldn't want to do that too. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mixed bag. Like, definitely I can see them not doing that, because if they do sell it cross-platform, they're going to make a ridiculous amount of extra sales. So is it more about getting growth on your own platform and maybe making a little bit less sales? Or is it about short-term gains on just straight sales numbers, right? Because the way I see it is if they do make it an Xbox exclusive, they absolutely will be selling more consoles and they'll be getting a lot more Game Pass subs. But they'd probably make more money if it was cross-platform overall. So do you care more about the long-term health of the Xbox Series X and Game Pass, or do you care about making a quick buck? You know? I don't know. That's going to be up to them to decide. I would say it's well within their realm to make that decision, and if they do, it's going to be a business-savvy decision. They're going to make a lot of money on that, man. So, we'll see. An anonymous $1.30 tipper says the following. Phil, I read yesterday a popular emulator developer named Nier committed suicide, and pointing as a reason online harassment and more specifically the disgusting shits over at Kiwi Farms. It went viral and it got heavily DDoS'd. Keep up your mental health strong. So I guess what you're saying is, we talked about this the other day, by the way. I already knew about this topic. I guess what you're saying is, as a direct result of this happening, because finally someone outright said, look, this is something, I can't take it anymore. They took their own life as a result of the monstrous online harassment that Kiwi Farms protects and allows. All right? It's basically a home for it, a haven for sociopathic people over there. So what you're telling me is, basically people had enough, and they're actually going to actually put the blame on Kiwi Farms for once, rather than always saying, oh, no, it's not them. They finally did blame them when you're saying they got DDoS attacked and knocked offline. Because, like I said the other day, I'm well aware that the person who owns that site personally made it an international site to protect him from prosecution from anything that happens on the site. Like, I think that it's actually housed in the Netherlands on purpose. So that, or New Zealand. Is it New Zealand or the Netherlands? I get confused. But I think that he basically made that site because he made it international so that way the law couldn't get to him for anything that happens on his site. And that's why you have people getting doxxed and things. And the guy basically is never responsible. He apparently has had a ton of lawsuits against him. Tons of lawsuits against him. For the actions on that site. And he always gets away with it. No one can get to him, you know. You know? So anyway. Listen. You guys know how fucked up something like that is. A place that is literally only to exist to harass people. A place where people, innocent people, get fucked over because these people think they can do whatever they want, right? I'm not going to talk about it at length because it doesn't deserve my fucking time. And the truth of the matter is, the more you talk about shit like that, the more attention you get. That's exactly what they want. They literally do what they do because they want attention. That's the only reason they do it. Alright? So the little you talk about them, the better. But, if anything, what I'm curious about, and I don't know if anything will come of it, this is an actual situation where someone has taken their own life. and 100% said the reason is because of Kiwi Farms. They put it in their suicide note. Will law enforcement now get involved? And is there a difference between the legal system going after Kiwi Farms or law enforcement going after Kiwi Farms? That's the real question, because now someone has lost their life. This is not just, oh, we were fucking with someone and we were trolling them. No, this is someone died now because of it, you know? And I make the comparison to the same thing. Remember when people were getting swatted a few years ago a lot? To the point where swatting was becoming so commonplace, someone died because of it. Someone swatted someone else and swatted the wrong guy. The guy was shot to death by police, and now swatting is actually taken fucking seriously. Finally. Because if you remember, there were times when people were joking about swatting like it was funny. No, it's not fucking funny when you have law enforcement wasting their time, putting themselves at risk, pulling themselves away from serious responsibilities and helping people who need it, and then putting people's lives at fucking risk. It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's not trolling. It's a crime. Alright? The shit that they do over at Kiwi Farms, as much as they want to argue, oh, well, see, we're protected. It's a gray area and we're this and that. It's evil. The stuff they do there is 100% fucking evil. Make no bones about it. They can try to justify what they do as much as they want. What they do is completely wrong. Morally, it's reprehensible. Anyone who would partake in that shit is a terrible fucking person. Period. There's no other explanation. There's no justification. You're an evil fuck if you're at Kiwi Farms doxing people, harassing people, and ruining people's fucking lives. Period. Okay? So, the question really is, you know, what's going to happen? Will there be a situation now where law enforcement will be involved? And will it actually do anything? I don't know. I'm skeptical. Because if the legal system couldn't get to them, right? Then how's law enforcement going to get to them? You would think international laws, even crime enforcement, is probably very, very sketchy. You know, you would think that law enforcement, wherever this person is who committed suicide, they would have to work with internationally with another country's law enforcement to try to figure this out. And can they even do anything? I don't know, man. So I'm curious to know what happens, but I have no investment in it. You know, I just ignore the shit that goes on over there, like most people should. I mean, seriously, there's no reason for any person with a brain in their fucking head and a piece of morality in their heart or soul to ever go to that website. It's the most vile, disgusting, evil fucking place on the internet. You should not be going there. Period. Okay? So, maybe something will happen, maybe it won't. Who knows? Fireball Accident tipped me $1.30, says, this is a tip, don't get me confused with a chair, because this is actually a tip. Okay, it would be kind of hard to convince a tip with a chair, I think. But thank you very much for the $1.30 tip. I appreciate that, Fireball Accident. And by the way, Richard Pierce apparently now is able to do super chats, super stickers, because he just did one with a big hot dog. A big honking hot dog. Actually, I don't know if I spelled that right. I'll just put P. Richard P, because I don't know if I spelled that right or not. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Alright, alright, alright. Okay, so, anything else, guys? So, let's see. Anything else? Does anyone else have any topics they'd like to cover? Anything else to shout out before we take a break? Because remember, what I do is I take a break. During that break, I use the restroom, and you guys get a drink or a snack, use the restroom yourselves, right? Let's see here. Local Nomad just tipped me $5. Any plans to utilize the community tab feature on your YouTube channel? It could be a cool way to interact with fans on a day off by posting polls or scheduling updates. You can even post messages only members can see. I'm not too well aware of how that works. I guess I would have to look into it. Yeah, I don't know too much about the community tab. Anyone know anything about the community tab? Like, is it useful? Is it something you guys would like to see me use, or you think it would be useful to utilize it for anything? I don't know. I don't know. If you guys think that it would be useful for something, see, here's the thing. YouTube has a ton of features that most people don't use. I'm going to be honest. YouTube designs and implements a ridiculous amount of features, and no one uses them. What it is they just do these things. They throw them out there. They don't really explain how they can be utilized, or, you know what I mean? Right now, I honestly don't know if I use this community tab, if anyone would know what it is or care. Half the people who use YouTube, they just run there, watch a video, and they're out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe it would be useful, maybe it wouldn't. If people think that there'd be a viable use for it and there's something that I should actively be doing, and I'm missing out on a big opportunity by not using this tab, then I'm all for it. I'll do it, man. But in the meantime, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anything you post to the community will show up in the sub box. See, I prefer, if I have something important that I want to say, I prefer that I post it on Twitter. And the reason being is, let's be honest here, YouTube is not exactly the most reliable site. Half the time when things are supposed to happen on YouTube, they don't. When I go live, everyone who's subbed is supposed to get a notification. Half the time they don't, or they get it 3 hours later. You know what I mean? So the community tab sounds like a good idea, but when I know that I post on Twitter, people will see stuff right away. You know? Swaggin says, community posts can actually appear, or they appear in your subscription feed. It's very useful. Posts can be done in in-depth discussions as well. Polls in a comms tab. So I see what you're saying. So what I could do, right? I could post up a poll. It would go to everyone's subscription feed who's subbed to my channel, and they could all vote a giant poll. Interesting. You know what I could do? I could test it. I could do a demo and be like, hey, this is a test of the community tab. Vote on this poll. Do you think this would be useful and something that you would use in the future? Yes, no, or what the hell is this? Right? I guess we give it a shot, give it a try, and see how it works. By the way, Simple Bubble is asking about the weather here. So, right now, currently, here in Washington State, it is 79 degrees outside. It is only 74 in my office. The air conditioner is blasting, keeping it nice and dry and cool in here. And it's only going to reach a high today of 88 degrees, and that's going to be around between 3 to 5 p.m., right around the tail end of our stream. So it will be hot, but nowhere near as hot as it was the last 3 days. So I don't foresee it getting much hotter inside. It'll probably stay in the 70s, and my office will be a nice streaming day. Very nice. Carlton Jr. says, your Twitter following could be more of a troll following than actual viewers. I prefer community polls. I never vote in the Twitter polls. Well, to some extent, here's the thing, Carlton Jr., and I've talked about this over the years. There is a silent majority of people who follow me. What I mean by that is most people who like my content watch it, support it, but don't say anything. They don't want to get involved vocally because if they do, they're afraid that they'll get trolled. They're afraid that there'll be harassment. Like, for example, if you'll notice, I have over 25,000 Twitter followers, and every time I post up a tweet, I get tons of views on each tweet. If you look at the engagement for tweets, mine is like sky high. It's ridiculous the amount of people who pay attention to my tweets. But almost no one will ever like or retweet or respond to my tweets. Because if they do, then trolls come after them. You see? So, I do have massive engagement. You'd be shocked because I tweet something out and I don't think anyone saw it. But then the word is out and everyone knows. You see? So, I do feel that Twitter is the best place to communicate with the public. I do believe that. But, if people want me to start using these community features more to try it out, we could give it a shot. Okay? Timbo Slice tipped me $1.30. He says, not sure why people are calling the Sony news today giant news. Before Returnal, that studio's big game was Angry Birds. And the rumor of them buying Dark Souls remake was only done... Oh, the Dark Souls remake company has only done remakes. It's just another small studio that they've got in the past. Alright. Basically what Timbo was trying to say, in a nutshell, is he doesn't think it's a big deal. Returnal was the first big game from the studio. We don't know what they're going to do in the future. And Bluepoint just does remakes. That's the point he's saying. So, okay. Thank you. Fair enough. And thank you for the $1.30 tip, sir. I kind of agree with you, especially in the Returnal Housemark. Who knows what they're going to do in the future, right? I don't know. All right, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. It's time for a break. Let's take a break. I'll use the restroom. You guys, I recommend you take a quick break, grab a drink, a snack, do whatever you need to do. When I come back, it's Fallout New Vegas continuing. We're going to continue on with Old World Blues. I'm still exploring and discovering new locations, but we're likely very near the end. Really, all that's left that's major in this DLC is to go to the Mobius headquarters and go in there and probably fight and find Dr. Mobius and finish it up. Okay? Alright, guys. I will see you all after the break. Thank you very much. See you in a few minutes.